Hi, Jackie Broman here from Legally Wise Women. Happy Monday. I wanted to talk today about alternative dispute resolution. So there are more and more true alternatives to going legal these days. Most courts, in fact, now require you to try an alternative dispute resolution pathway before you can even make an application to court. Other courts, after you make the initial application, require a court-ordered alternative dispute resolution process. So we call it ADR for short. Now, the earlier you can do ADR, it's often the better. So I would even argue that potentially you contact a mediator or ADR professional before you even get legal advice. Particularly if it is a difficult conversation that could potentially help you walk through within 90 minutes or half a day. And particularly if it is more of a emotional sort of matter than a highly legal complex matter. Now, how do you tell if it's highly complex? Well, if you have fairly straightforward terms and conditions, for example, if it's a consumer matter, if it is a neighbourhood dispute, if it is a family issue, if it is anything that has anything to do with family, in fact, whether it's over kids, separation, if it is to do with someone passing away or to do with someone losing capacity and who helps out with what, if someone has to go into aged care, all those sorts of things are highly emotive because it's all family involvement. Neighbourhood disputes because it's about it's close to home, and potentially it's been something that's been rubbing both of you the long way for a while, so it's much more emotional than it is highly technically legal. If it is, for example, a dispute also between potential business partners, former business partners, current business partners, or even employees, quite often that's highly emotional as well and less legal. So, without going to a lawyer first and then being railroaded down a pathway which might be more time consuming and more costly, and also sets you up into a position that the lawyer sort of tells you should be going for, why not try mediation first? The mediator will help you work out what you actually want. The mediator will help you clarify what the sub-issues are in the overarching issue, so you can deal with each of the sub-issues and work out options for each of those issues and talk about those between the two of you directly, facilitated, so that you can come to an agreement between yourselves. These are not necessarily legal outcomes. These are practical outcomes to actually deal with people with where you have an ongoing relationship. And you keep control of what the outcomes are yourself. Doing this through mediation is also a confidential process. So what you say in mediation stays in mediation, which makes it open for you to discuss all sorts of options that you might not want to put in writing if you were trying to negotiate another way or through a lawyer. So you can openly explore. You can also say what you feel needs to be said. You've got the chance to have a bit of an emotional vent, so you can explain and try and have the other person understand where you're coming from, which again you wouldn't be able to do in writing or through some kind of court process or negotiation through lawyers. And the other thing is, you in mediation can apologise for certain aspects of your behaviour. Or you could get an apology from them, which sometimes lowers a lot of the emotion anyway. Because again, what's said in mediation stays in mediation. So an apology in mediation does not put you in a situation where you might suddenly be liable in a legal context. So there you go. Alternative dispute resolution has so many benefits, particularly in terms of time and cost saving. So then it just becomes a matter of, well, how do you go about finding someone that works? And that's what I can help you with through Legally Wise Women. So have a look at the link tree that I've got in my bio description there. You can jump into the Legally Wise Women Hub and find a whole lot of resources, or jump into the Facebook page and I can give you some referrals directly. So I'll see you again next week. If there's any topics you'd like me to cover off, please DM me and let me know. Hope to hear from you soon.